What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Hope Shot. Hope you guys are having a great week so far. It is midweek. It is time to finish strong, right? Finish strong, Josh, right?
Always finishing strong.
Always. I wish I had the shirt on over like this, but I don't have it right now, so I can't do that. If you guys just jumping on, say what's up. Let us know you're here. We got Beck in the house. We got Josh in the house. We have Christina. It is a party up in here.
Always.
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 Hey, Christina, you see my text?
Yep, I got it. You want me to read it?
Hey, yeah, will you read the clarity statement for us?
I sure will. All right, the Hope Shot clarity statement. We here at the Hope Shot are a group of people in recovery spreading inspiration. We come from all different walks of life and pathways of recovery. Our verbiage may be different at times, but we all have one thing in common: recovery as a lifestyle. We support all pathways of recovery. It doesn't matter how you get from A to Z, just get there. Thank you for being a part of our family, the Hope Shot.
Thank you, Christina. Appreciate
Christina.
you. I was last minute. I was scrambling. I was like, man, I'm tired of reading. I'm gonna let Christina read something. You did it well. You did it really well. I couldn't do it that good though. So
Sound a little nasally.
nasally. Let's see. We got James Frank. Man, good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. I haven't seen me in a while either. So there's that. But if you guys just jumping on, say what's up. Let us know you're here, man. Don't be shy. I see 6 people. Don't be shy. We have a good topic tonight, and I know it's Josh's favorite.
Right? Really?
But we're going to talk about intimacy and connection. And I've been playing with these defects of character of mine, because that's what I'm on right now is defects, and it's just so happens my wife's on that too. Shut the fuck up over here. But we're I was sitting here and we tried different things and try to connect in some ways or another, but it's something we can connect on because we're both on that step, so we kind of can connect on it and the defects of character. And don't mistake it, we got to look at the assets too, but the defects of what trips us up. And what we're reading the book Drop the Rock, and I've been talking about this all week because every time I read it, man, I get a new something out of it. I get something new. Like I've been on step 6. I've done defects, and I read the book. It's just like I was sharing today about the Just for Today. It's 365 days of the same book every year, so it doesn't change. What changes then? Like that's what you have to think of. It's like I'm changing because it becomes new to me and it becomes like fresh. And so every year it requires a new level of understanding that I have to go through in order to get that new level of growth. And I was reading this thing, and it was, we're reading together, and that's a form of intimacy. We're connected. It's either we're going to grow apart or grow together. And how are we growing together? Just like friendships, intimacy is like, it's a really tweaked word. When we think of intimacy, we think of sex, which it's not always sex. It's connecting with another human being, another spirit on another level, and whatever that looks like for you, it just depends on what it looks like, And as I was sitting there, and I took a picture of me and her reading this book, and that came to me, and one thing, it's in that book, about intimacy and lust and all those things, and we can get it twisted real quick of what it really is, and maybe even our belief system of what it is skewed, like, because it is a hard subject to talk about. It's a hard subject to talk about, especially when you're in recovery, and you're trying to figure things out and trying to figure out what it looks like, and it's a very like insecure topic, I guess you could say. And most people just don't we want to move around it, but when we think of, I remember my buddy Ito, he explained it to me. Intimacy, it's into me you see. And that's like in the spiritual realm. Mm-hmm. And I really hit on that. And I was like, man, that's good. That's good right there. And so, and so like me and her, it's either we're doing one or the other, man. We're either growing together or growing apart. You know, it's just like everything else, man. There's only two ways to the street. You know, which way am I going? You know, either I'm going towards recovery, or I'm going towards relapse. You know, and that's something I have to think about. It's like, am I working towards my recovery? Am I working towards my relapse? What does it look like? Because I can go either way. You only have two choices. You know what I mean? It's not a in-betweener, you know, lukewarm, they say, you know? And so this is a good topic, and it's kind of like where I got it from. Just reading that book together, having a moment that we read it like 2 nights in a row instead of watching TV. You know, how many times we sit here and watch TV and we like on our phones just go away, you know what I mean?
Doom scrolling.
Doom scrolling.
Yes. Doom scrolling. Yeah.
Crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I think
and
it's cool you said that, Justin, because like intimacy, like you said, it can be that taboo topic, but once you actually pay attention to what it really is or get some insight on what it really is, you can discover that like you've been doing it and you don't even necessarily realize it. And that's the cool part about it too, is like once you realize that it's not just sex and it's not just that physical intimacy, that you can have an emotional intimacy with your friends or with your family or whatever. When it gets pointed out, you kind of start noticing like, oh, well, maybe I have been doing that, and it makes it a little bit clearer. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, navigating intimacy like in recovery is such an opportunity for growth. You know, like you don't even realize it. It's a challenge, but it's growth all at the same time. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you know, I was just thinking the only thing that's kind of guarded us from it is just the trauma related to opening up to somebody and maybe getting hurt by them. But if we think about it, in our first days of using, it was that intimacy and that connection that drew us in. I mean, for me, like the fact that I could go to a club, right, and be like, hey, man, and like, man, I am so vibing with you. Like, oh my God. And the person's like, oh my God. And they're just telling you your life story, you've known 5 minutes. And they're like, man, I like you, man. And I'm like, oh my, I like you too. You know? So like, that's what.
Dude, who's coming with me? Who's coming with me?
You remember like, hey, will you rub my bag? God. But
I have never felt this good before in my life.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what drew us in when we first started using that was our way that we were able to connect, and people were open and vulnerable with us, which allowed us to be open and vulnerable with them. Now, where our addiction took us after like hurting people and being hurt, and, you know, just that spiral, right, that you get into of the selfish and self-seeking and just people not knowing how to like communicate correctly, you know, because they're going through their own things. So we start to get guarded, right? And then we have to like back up because like we were so vulnerable. We gave people ways to like hurt us. But like I'm just saying, we really do crave it. It's just the older you get, you have to be very careful of who you let close to you, because of maybe not being able to set healthy boundaries or for whatever reason. But then also like it getting construed, like for a long time, intimacy to me was like what I had to offer a man, you know what I mean? In that short time, and being able to know that it's so much broader than that, right? Is freeing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the freedom that comes with it. So, and I think, Christina, we're talking about back in the rave days. I don't know if that's what we're talking about.
That's where it all started for me.
I felt it, you know. I felt it. I might have
That's where it all started for me. I don't know.
Who's got a Vicks inhaler?
That's what I'm saying. Listen, and it's crazy because that's what we thought was connecting, because it was like the love drug, and having you know, coming from like, I don't know about y'all, but where I came from in my home and where I lived, there was no love. There was no love going on. There was a bunch of mad, just craziness, you know, all the time. So like when I found ecstasy, I was in love, and I chased that the whole time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Never find it.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy. Like just thinking about those connections that we thought we had with people and what we thought in true intimacy was, like, even in early recovery, just trauma bonding with people over all the craziness that we've done. And that's still like a form of intimacy, and it's how we've created the connections, but it doesn't have to define the connections that we have nowadays. Like, I know, like Christina pointed out to me earlier today, like we've had several instances where we've just had like an intimate moment and I didn't even realize it. Like on the swings in Orlando, just us above everybody else flying free. Like that is an awesome moment. And I even got to share with Justin too, like at Frickno. Like it's awesome being able to just be free in that moment and share that with the people that are around you. And I'm just grateful today that I get to be around better people, people that are actually working towards the same things that I'm working towards.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely relate. Even when we, as our committees, like we get together and put together these events that we do that take months, right? And we're all sitting around and we're just going back and forth, and sometimes we're arguing. But at the end of the day, like when that event comes and we go and we set up that event and then we have the event and then we take that event down, we go have dinner or whatever. I mean, all that, like that whole experience, like you just connected to those people on a whole other level, right? And relationships like were built or changed or grew, just from that event, that service that we did together.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
And we take away the one thing that we thought we were connected, no matter what, that helped us make those connections, because I remember when I was using, man, I thought, the connect was the plug, I was connected, I had a connection. What are you talking about? But it's the people, like, cause I wasn't always doing the drugs that made me homeless, right? That's what I call them. I wasn't doing all those all the time. So it was alcohol too, man, being in the bar scene, and like you had your peoples, and then if you stray away from your peoples, like, and then what? Like if you take the one thing that made me who I was, how am I supposed to connect with anybody? You know what I mean? Right. How am I supposed to be that person that is the fun loving, the funny, I was the guy, I was the clown, that was all the freaking dumb stuff. Yeah, a little bit. But I had to learn how to be that guy too, because I am that guy. It's just the alcohol and the drugs took that, brought that out of me. And then, So it's always in me. I just have to, take down these walls that are stopping me from making that connection with another person and being who I was. And then the connection to myself as well, because shit, I didn't know how to connect to myself. Be still. I'm telling people how to be still and be with yourself. I'm like, I don't know, that sounds horrible. Yeah, it's bearable now. Like I could do it now, but back in the day, man, forget that. I didn't want nothing to do with that. I didn't want to, and we're trying to tell people, man, that's where the magic happens. Yeah. That's where the magic happens,
Absolutely. That's like when I was in my active addiction and I thought I had all these deep connections with people and all these people that depended on me and wanted to be my friend. They were my ride or dies, and we were going to be together till the end of time. And then when I went to jail and didn't hear from anybody, nobody's answering the phone, I'm not getting any packs from anybody. I'm just sitting there alone in the cell, and all these people that I thought were so close to me that I was so concerned about, because like genuinely in the first like couple of weeks of me sitting in jail, I was worried about all the people that I took care of, because that's still one of my big defects of like taking care of everybody that I've had for years. And I just remember like being so worried about them, and then finally somebody was like, do you honestly think they care? Like if they cared, why aren't they answering the phone? And I was like, when it smacks you in the face that you don't have those connections, it sucks. But then getting out and getting involved in recovery, like I have people in my life nowadays that would literally kill people for me. I don't live the life where they need to, but like I know that at the end of the day, if I need a ride or die, like they're going to be there for me. And that feeling is amazing. And I didn't realize that was true intimacy. You know what I mean? Like those deep connections and bonds that I've formed with people that I know are going to be there for a lengthy period of time as long as we keep moving along this path. It's amazing.
Well, Josh, I think you hit it on the head. Like in addiction, our intimacy was codependency.
100%.
It was totally codependency. It was, the closeness of the people that we were around, who we took care of. We didn't know what intimacy was. We didn't have any vulnerability, and the vulnerability that we did show, it always got us in trouble, or it always ended bad for us. It's so nice to know that we have people now, that'll just show up at my door. They haven't seen me at a meeting in a couple days and they haven't heard from me like they normally do. They'll show up at my door and drag me to a meeting, without me asking. That's something that I have that I'm so grateful for, because it's always when you need it the most. And they know that vulnerability, like that intimacy that we have with our friends now, like they already have, you don't have to tell them anything. They know.
Right.
Recovery is so beautiful in that aspect. I'm so grateful for it.
You're right, Beck, but also like we had to work to get to that point with them. Like we had to put the work in and open up and be that vulnerable, raw self and show them all the ugly parts. And those people didn't go anywhere. Like they stayed right there the whole time, no matter what we shared, what ugliness we brought to the table. Like they still love us no matter what. And like that feeling of acceptance and being a part of is just unmatched.
Yeah, I agree. And, Justin had said something really important earlier about how, like, before you can really connect with other people, you have to have that connection, like, within yourself and with your higher power, right? You have to kind of have some kind of baseline of, this is who I am, like my higher powers got me. I'm perfect in my higher power's eyes, and like, love me or leave me. This is who I am. And once we get to that point where it's like, I'm okay with who I am today, right? And then we show who we are to other people, right? And that true authenticity, like, shines out. And then that person's like, oh yeah, I'm okay with that person too. And that's where we connect, because we're not trying to be anybody else. We're not trying to people please. We get to that point where it's like, this is who I am, and I'm going to be vulnerable, and I'm going to be honest, and you're going to accept me or you're not. And then, the people, like, people crave that honesty. I find that the only people that don't are the ones that aren't honest.
Working the program, right?
You know what I mean?
Weird.
Yeah. But we have to, like a lot. I mean, I don't want to call anybody out. I'm not going to say names, but I've been in the room, the rooms of recovery for a little bit, and the ones that do struggle with a real connection, don't have a connection with a higher power of their choosing. You know what I mean? Don't have a higher connection, don't work on a connection, and aren't really like settled like with themselves, So that's a very important aspect, to be able to connect and be truly intimate with somebody else.
And because the whole thing with defects, right? If you're not aware of self, how are you ever going to deal with it? You know what I mean? That's the thing, is like, you have to go inward in order to get, be able to express it outward. That's just what it is. And if I'm not connected with me and what's going on inside of me, I'll never be able to see my part. I'll never be able to connect with another human being on another level, because I have so many walls up, man. I don't want anybody to see the dirt that's going on inside of me. And that's like that's the sauce. You know what I mean? That authenticity, it just comes out. It's not even, it's a byproduct of what's going on with your recovery. You know what I mean? Right. When you are working a program, you're dealing with your defects, you're dealing with the crap that's gotten you in these pickles this whole freaking time. And then it's like, it's the results of the work, and you don't have to do anything about it. It just happens. It just flows, and that's the beautiful part. Everybody's scared to do the work. Everybody's scared to move forward. What are you scared of? Find out who you are?
Yes.
Awareness.
Yes. That's terrifying. Are you kidding me? Like that's what had me stopped for so long. Like my first year of recovery, I didn't have a sponsor. I was just going to meetings, and it kept me clean for that moment. But I was terrified to look at who I was as a person and really like dig down deep into those defects and be able to tell somebody else all of my like stuff that I didn't want to tell anybody. And then once I started actually working my steps thoroughly, that's where all of the freedom has come. Like I've been sharing this a lot in meetings like the last couple of weeks. I genuinely love who I am today. And like that is so hard for me. It was so hard for me to say. And it's such an amazing feeling today to be able to like wholeheartedly and honestly say that out loud and believe it myself. Because like I was a master of putting on the mask and faking it till I made it. But nowadays I don't have to fake it anymore. Like I genuinely have worked on these defects. Like I'm aware of them. You're right. I've heard you say this before, Justin, like they're never going to go away completely, but
Right.
like awareness of them, then I can act differently when they start to show up. And that is an amazing freeing feeling. And that's where that intimacy with myself comes, of being able to just genuinely love who I am today. It's awesome.
We'll be terrified to tell our sponsor something, and we'll tell them, be like, "Oh, you did that too? Oh, okay.
Right?
Oh, I did it twice, actually. I did it twice." So
I'm not terminally unique. Wait, what?
Exactly. Woo, I'm not special.
deepest, darkest secret. Like, yeah. And then they're like, they're telling them that, you're like, yeah.
And?
All right. What's next? Like,
And
yeah.
See,
And and the sponsor thing was really important too, to be able to share that stuff with somebody, right? Like, and to be serious about wanting to work your recovery, sharing those things with somebody and being able to trust, right?
yes.
That they were just going to listen and no judgment, and they weren't going to repeat it. And that was probably the first start of building some true intimacy and connection in early recovery. I mean, I first had to do it with myself and my higher power. And I think the next person was my sponsor.
Yeah. Are you
See-
kidding? Trusting myself was the hardest thing in the face of the planet. Like, I know all of the crap that I put myself through. Like, I know all of the wreckage that I caused. Like, how could I trust me?
See, in early recovery, that's where I'm different. Like that's something I chased from the get, was that connection. Something that I never had was that connection. And I was so willing to uncover the patterns and my triggers just so I didn't go back to where I came from, because where I came from, I had that total gift of desperation. I was so desperate to never go back there that I was willing to do anything and go to any length. You know, I think that I had a sponsor before I even got out of my rehab, just because I was I just needed it so bad at that point in my life that I just took off as soon as I got out. Like step one, I took off through my steps because I was so desperate to figure out my triggers and uncover those patterns that were kept bringing me back. Because I'm the queen, the comeback queen. I'm the queen of getting so far, and then I blow it up and burn it all to the ground every single time. And then it's like I get a high from doing it and I start all over. But this time it's different. This time I have recovery. You know, I've gotten clean without recovery before, made it a couple years, but it always took me back out. You know, not that lack of connection, that lack of community. You know, the opposite of addiction is connection. And I never had that connection. So it kept me in my addiction.
Right.
So I'm super blessed and grateful, because I hear people that were like, I was terrified of myself. And I was like, no, I needed to find out me. I needed to figure it out.
Hey, don't get twisted. I was too, you know, I in the beginning, but the magic happens. Like, I didn't know what it was, but it just kept going, you know, the first going through the stuff and because the one thing I've been in and out of this thing for a long time. And then the one thing I never did was the steps. I go to meetings. Yeah. That doesn't deal with self, you know? So, but once I started to look at some things, you know, like, I was like, damn, dude, like I really need to work on this stuff that's been holding me up. And what is it? The resentments, man. The resentments.
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, man, I ain't got none. No. Oh, yeah, boy, I was loaded. And that's what got me loaded. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
It's the truth, man. It's like that stuff is and it's weird, man, because you don't realize it until you start looking. You know,
Yeah.
you don't realize, like, there's some people, man, I'm like, man, I'm so grateful that I freaking was aware, that I got the awareness, that I got the desperation, because I look at some people that have no clue that they have a problem, and I feel so bad. And I sometimes just want to just slap them around, you know what I mean? And
Are you
drag her
kidding me?
ass out of the
Like every
house,
day
like,
at
mama.
work.
Yeah.
Oh my
But
God.
it sucks, man. But it's like, man, you want it for somebody so bad, but then you're like, I can't help you get it yourself. It is your journey. You know what I mean?
Right.
You mean letting go of that control and like trying to like force people into that box, and like your life would just be so much better if you just got it. Like, I promise, just listen. And they don't, because they're not there yet. And that is a daily struggle every single day. I just want everyone to do this with me together and experience all the joys and like blessings that come from it. And I have to accept that people just aren't.
Oh, damn. You're freezing up.
You're freezing up, Josh.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
But you know, I wanted to point out too, like, intimacy and connection, like in our issues with those, they're not evident until we're in moments of intimacy and connection, right? So it's like one of those triggers that you were talking about. So people, like, for me, when I was working on defects, I had a lot of defects that came out as like the head of household, mom with my teenagers, right? They were the closest people to me. There was a lot of defects that weren't evident and that I didn't have to work on because I wasn't like in a committed relationship, right? And you know, I'm newly in a relationship as of like, you know, about 8 months, and I can tell, like, there's moments when I can be very close and vulnerable, and there's other moments when they're close and vulnerable, and I kind of cringe a little bit, right? I'm like, oh, I got the shivvies, you know, like you're bugging me out, you know. And it's like, it's where does that come from, right? It's like, where does that come from? It's like in that moment, like, so I'm just like, I'm like this with it. And, you know, I'm going to refer back to my audiobook. I always talk about this audiobook, but it's You're the One You've Been Waiting For, right? And it talks about in this audiobook about how there's a misconception that people think that if they have a lot of conflict with somebody, that person's they're not meant to be, like, that relationship should be easy. And it was like, it's quite the opposite. Like, if you will do the work, right, that person that you have that conflict with will pull out those triggers and help you to recognize the things that you need to work on, right? Which normally, if you don't have somebody that's challenging you, if you don't have somebody that's trying to get close to you and be intimate with you and have those hard conversations and have those serious, that closeness that's on another level, then they don't get to that layer, right? So it's like, there's sometimes like people are like, oh, I don't have a problem with intimacy, I don't have a problem with connection, because there's certain types of intimacy and connection that they are fine with. But then there's a whole other side, right? That where you have to, like, I don't know, like, look at yourself and kind of like apologize or like own your part or have like a serious conversation because you hurt somebody's feelings and they're telling you about it, or like, you know, admit that you were wrong or something in those conversations, right? Where you're trying to like heal that relationship. That's a whole other situation where there's intimacy and connection there. And that, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I struggle in that area.
What, being wrong?
Just like,
I was gonna say boundaries.
trying to like not be defensive and actually like listen to other people's feelings and take them into consideration, and like, I don't know.
Joking aside, I feel you, Christina. I'm there, because I have
talking about it.
I have an issue with that too. But I think my issue with that too is like, I start to take someone else's inventory in moments like that. And that I've got to be very self-aware of, because I'm just like, look at them pointing their finger, like, you know, pulling it out. But like, they're not working on themselves, you know, and that, you know, you have to, if that's the case, they have to be in recovery too, because I'm quick to start to take someone else's inventory when it comes to things like that. And I have to mind myself on it and keep boundaries for that reason.
No, I get it. I just, when I want to open up and be intimate and connect with somebody, it's much easier for me to voice, right? Rather than to sit there and be that safe space for
someone
somebody
else
to do it with me, because then it's in that moment that I feel a different kind of vulnerability, right? And like I said, like I never would have known it until I got into the relationship and had, you know, where there was like communication and trying to have real talks and open up. And so I never knew that it made me a little uncomfortable until I did.
It's amazing what healthy communication can do.
Yeah. And you ain't gonna grow being comfortable. I'll tell you right now.
Right.
No.
It's just not gonna happen. So you gotta be uncomfortable and having these conversations, these tough ones, man, because we used to brush under the rug, not tell how we feel, like just dealing with shit, like not like being a punching bag for somebody else. Yeah, just eating your own shit, and then eventually it's gonna explode, man. And that's what it did. It's like we eat our own poison, and then we wonder why we're all a fucking mess, because we don't know how to communicate. We don't know how to process things and be able to, you know, say it to another person on a healthy basis, to where, you know, that connection's not tarnished by the way we feel, not being able to express it, you know, and that's part of that intimacy process, is being able to express our feelings, our joys, our angers, like in a healthy way. I know I used to be able to only express anger because it's the only emotion I knew, but it's in a secondary emotion. So like I have to learn, you know, and when you know better, you do better. But how am I going to learn anything if I don't do anything
about
grow?
it?
Yeah.
Right.
That's me. I mean, I still feel very disassociated from a lot of my emotions. Anger seems to come up very easily, right? I really, there's never any denying when something makes me angry. But like you said, it's always a secondary emotion. But I almost feel like, especially for the last couple of years of my life, like I've almost had to disconnect from a lot of emotions to kind of not react to certain things. And I don't know if it's part of the grief or part of just like practicing acceptance or whatever, but I even reached out to a counselor because I noticed that like maybe it's my Lexapro. I don't know.
Yep.
Oh, Christina.
I just thought of that. I was just talking to somebody the other day about like none of those other emotions. Like, you know, my partner's dad died and I really didn't feel sad. When my grandma died, I really didn't feel sad. I mean, you know, so it's like, where's all the other emotions at?
Fucking Lexapro. The thief of all joy or sadness. I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
You know, and listen, there's nothing to be ashamed about that. You know what I mean? I don't know what Lexapro is, and I get that way too. So, but it's I don't know. I don't know. Like there's certain things that I will have emotions about and certain things that I don't. And it's okay to not have some in certain areas and you're not weird about it. It's just the way you're built. You know what I mean? Like it's just the way I'm built. It's not Lexapro. I swear that's your safe word now. It's going to be your safe word, isn't it?
I feel like I might be disassociated a little bit. Like if I were to pick a word, you know, so
you're not really being intimate.
Therapy is going to be in my future. But no, I'm saying because I've been such a reactive person, right? So like part of handling being such a reactive person is to like try to feel certain emotions, but then let them go back down. right? Not having to react on every little, okay, do I feel hurt? Okay, I don't have to react about it. Do I feel disappointed? Okay, I don't have to react about it. But it's like certain other emotions, like the anger is really the only one that's very recognizable to me.
Yeah.
Well, pacing is important, especially when it comes to reacting. We learn that through our steps and in our character defects, like the pace behind a reaction, it carries a lot of weight. So you're not wrong on that. I think that that's something that I've developed too, like things that I should be like, oh, I'm just like, okay, but I also think that comes from, the past trauma, like past trauma of reacting too quickly or, like acting a certain way, so I think that you're just taking it slow for your health. It's not the life.
I heard a saying today. Somebody posted a post that it said some stuff, but at the end it said, pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional.
Optional.
Absolutely.
That's the truest word.
Yeah.
That's good stuff right there, because it is optional. How long you gonna let it affect you, or we have to what the biggest thing is, we just have never had to process stuff correctly. So but I like I said, the emotional part of it, I don't know. I don't think it's anything different, but I will say that like the anger stuff, it is definitely something going on with me that I need to investigate. And I told people, I was speaking today and I was talking about, man, be optimistic about things, find out what's the root to it. What's going on, what do I need to do in order to make it so I have certain things, or maybe I need to slow down, or maybe I don't, or whatever it is, but be optimistic, almost childlike, and find out what it is that's stopping you from one thing, intimacy and connection, what's stopping you. And it's anger can be one of them.
Mm-hmm.
It can shut you off from intimacy. So there's so many times something gets triggered in me, then cut off connection, and I'm like, damn it, we're about to. I'm like, why'd I do that? Like we're gonna have everything was going great, and then I just snap out of nowhere, and I'm like, where did that what? And then I'm mad at myself because I let it affect me. I let it. I reacted, and I hate that. I do. That's one thing that I really try to work on is reaction. And sometimes, man, when I'm over busy and I'm overly done, because this life is overly done sometimes, a lot of times.
Everything's so much bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Like I blow up quicker, man. My fuse is shorter. I don't have a short reaction time. I can't pace myself. It's like,
I can definitely relate to that. Like when I'm not doing the self-care part and I'm taking on everyone else's shit and I'm trying to do all the things and be everywhere for everyone all at once, and then I don't have that me time to just kind of like decompress and relax or eat something. And I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I totally get hangry. When I say I'm hungry, you got about 29 minutes to feed me, or I'm gonna turn into a whole bitch. Like it sucks, but like you find those connections of those people that understand that, and like I know that with my roommate, if I say like I'm hungry, she is like on a mission to find something for me or get me fed. She knows how I am, but because we've had that like intimate connection to where she knows who I am as a person and that I don't mean it, and it's her trying to like meet me where I'm at. See, and there she goes. Like, oh, it's awesome having that connection with people.
Yeah.
Halt is the truest statement ever. That's the best analogy ever. Hungry,
Absolutely.
Angry, lonely, tired.
Yep.
Bro. And that's it. The hungry, angry, lonely, intimacy,
Mm-hmm.
intimacy.
There it is.
I mean? There it is.
And the defects that we act out on, right? It's kind of like it's the opposite of the intimacy and connection. So we're putting that guard up, right? And we're that defense and reacting instead of like just like being honest about where we're at, how we're feeling, and telling somebody about it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things about me, like before I got into recovery, I would react and flip out on people, my kids or whatever. And I used to have this constant like thing of like, well, you know how I am. Like, I'm not usually like that. So if I react, you should know that something's bothering me. Did you ever think that maybe something was bothering me? And it took me a minute to be like, no, how are they going to know that something's bothering you if you didn't tell them something's bothering you? Like, now that you've reacted, okay, obviously something's wrong with her.
Right.
But
They
there
should
was
know.
no
They
inclination,
should know.
So it's like, if I'm not being open and connecting and saying, hey, this is how I'm feeling, they're getting caught off guard with my reaction just as much as I am. Right. And then now it's like, I can't just like backpedal and be like, well, I was feeling this type of way, because now I've caused a little bit of damage from my reaction.
Then you got to start making amends.
Yeah.
Build
resentments more.
Yeah.
Some take longer than others. It just depends on how I'm feeling. I was so I ain't do nothing.
My mom used to always say, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
My mom said that too.
Times I've been told that, it sucks.
As she was screaming.
Yeah, because I remember being in, or like before I got into recovery, and having such a different version of my mother. My mom was a very reactive, very angry, overstimulated, overwhelmed, in a dysfunctional relationship. I mean, like, you just walked around on eggshells around her constantly. And then when her kids were growing up and out of her house, and then I was this mother with 4 small children, and I was losing my freaking mind. Right. And she would hit me with all these, look, God doesn't give you more than you can handle. And, it's not,
it doesn't kill you, makes you stronger.
Or it's not meant to be. If it's meant to be, it'll have, and I would just like, and it would infuriate me, because it was like,
where was all this gentle parenting?
Yeah, like, who are you? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, who's this calm woman? Because, and it used to make me so mad. It used to make me so mad that she was like this different, and I resented her for it, right? Because she was never calm like that with us. So I can't wait for one day my kids to be grown and out of my house. Now I'm just gonna be like,
they get soft, bro. They get soft. That's what happens.
My way, I guess.
My dad's soft.
Go ahead, Justin.
Yeah, I was saying my dad is soft too with my kids. So I'm like, who the hell are you? Who the fuck is in my house right now?
This is bullshit.
Right?
That is totally.
Yeah, but there are people too. They grow and they change, and maybe we weren't always the most easy to deal with people when we were younger too. You know what I mean? Like, me and my dad had a terrible relationship growing up. Like, we just didn't connect in any way. And now, like, things are just different. I don't know if I'm sure it's everything that like we've both been through and everything that's happening, and we're able to just kind of like meet each other where we're at, and it makes we're able to develop that intimate connection that we didn't have when I was younger. So super grateful for that.
Well, what's super funny is I've actually had this conversation with my mom, who was a tyrant, when I was younger and growing up. And now I watch her with my niece and nephew, and we had to force that into her a little bit, but I asked her what changed. And she tells me that, with age, she's like, I don't want to die. Those are her exact words. And that just tells you that, stress and that kind of anger and that resentment and that, what it does to you. It makes you weak and frail. And you're just like, all right, I give up. Whether you choose to do that while we're our age, and we decide to go into it, or it's beat into you when you're older,
Yeah.
It's a choice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's read some of these comments, man. I got some good ones in here. I got Lloyd. What's up, Lloyd? Hard to believe it's almost 2026 and people still are doing drugs and dying from addiction. That's so old. Yeah, but it's reality. It's reality.
Thanks, Lloyd.
And then Tracy says, I always say you are the author of your own book. You cannot change the pages from the past, but you can pick up the pen and write the next chapter exactly how you want it to be. And in the end, it's the story you choose to create that will define you, not chapters you've already lived. That's,
That's beautiful.
I like that.
I do too.
Yeah. And then we got Rachel says, hungry, angry, lonely, tired, and driving. So do not get in front of her, behind her, to the side.
Absolutely
in the
not.
morning, at night.
No,
No, absolutely not.
I'm staying out of her way.
100%.
Yeah. We got Rudolph says, Crystal and I got into the hangry topic today. Actually, I was putting together a baby fence and I just felt the anger monster creeping up. Yes. Like just for no particular reason.
Yep.
No particular reason. Just popping up.
Just pop up.
Grace says she's the chef.
She is 100%.
Like, I'm the captain now. What's up, Kevin? Good to see you, man. Let's see. We have Helen says, practice the pause. It's easier said than done.
It is.
He's like the Justin.
Yeah, that Lex Pro, bro. Lex Pro.
That'll pop.
And Rachel says, man, what a gift to witness Beck's journey from treatment to sober living and out here killing it live. So proud of you, Beck.
Love you, Rachel, so much.
Killing the game. And Denise says, the fourth step for me was true intimacy and connection with my sponsor as well. And self, for sure. Definitely.
Absolutely.
100%, Denise.
Hey. Is this the mama?
Oh, hey, Mom.
We love you too.
Oh, that gentle parenting.
Love you,
Wow.
Mom. She's my big,
I know
she's
what
my
phone call
biggest
Christina's
supporter
making.
today. She's my biggest supporter today. I wonder if
That's
my
awesome.
sister told her.
Who that is too.
She's listening.
She's like Alexa.
That's my sister. She knows. She knows.
She knows.
Oh, there's my wife. And they just roll it in, bro. There she is. This is the greatest to listen to. Thank you, guys. I relate to every bit. Into me you see has always been a big struggle for me. I don't have to struggle of what others see of me. It's been the coolest thing. Recovery has helped me let go of wanting.
Ooh.
Me too, Tiffany.
We love you, Tiff.
Never alone. Alfred, so glad you're doing this still. Y'all help out so much in my early recovery. 3/27/2022. That's what's up, Alfred.
Heck yeah.
We're gonna do. I love this. Like, I don't know, man. I just absolutely, Christina helped me get this thing, lit a fire back under me, because it's like, man, I absolutely love doing this and talking recovery and putting it out there and talking about the struggles. Because, man, what better way, man, to do it on an open platform where other people will be like, damn, I feel the same way, bro. And being able to express that and connecting, like social media is already a shit show. But it doesn't all have to be. And what are we putting into the space? What are we putting out there? Are we putting out the connection and intimacy that's in a positive light that's actually truly going to connect people? Or are we just putting garbage on there and hopefully for the best?
Good energy all the way.
Positive thoughts bring positive results.
I really liked what Denise shared about that, where she experienced it with the fourth step, because that is so powerful. I mean, when you get to that fourth step and you have to look at the exact nature of your wrongs, right? And to kind of get to the bottom of why you did what you did and how it's all like fear-based, right? And like the exact nature of who we are and why we do the things we do and why we feel that we have to survive in a certain ways. It's really freeing, and it's a way for us to really get to know ourselves. Like, yeah, we did those things, and not justifying it, but then getting to the point of why we did it and what's hurt in us and where that trauma is and what needs to be healed, right? So that we're not continuing to hurt other people, and and just showing ourselves grace, right? And saying, yeah, you did some shitty things, but it's okay. You don't have to keep doing them. Right? You don't have to keep doing them. You have a choice today. right? So and just being able to heal, to find out what needed to be healed, where we were hurt, why we were hurt, right? Because like back to that audiobook, man, I swear by that audiobook, it talks about like how we react to people today, how we react to people in passing, to people we work with, to people, stems from things that happened to us when we were a very small child. Right.
Mhm.
And it's just so weird because you would never think of it. You're thinking, oh, that person just pissed me off in the present, made me feel some way in the present. But it's
In
no.
the present.
Yeah,
In the
it's no,
present.
it's not. It's something was triggered, and it's something that stems from something that happened a long time ago, and it's those feelings are stirring up,
Mm.
right?
So
And that same, yeah.
Good
Anyways,
shit.
I'll send y'all the audiobook. Y'all gotta listen to it. It's really
I guess
good.
we have to now. Lexapro.
Right?
Good.
We're all gonna be on
my
Lexapro.
car, like I'm in my car, like yes.
But she feels something.
Amen.
She feels
Amen.
that.
Hallelujah.
It's so good, guys. It's so good.
Absolutely.
I like my audiobooks. I'm not to judge. I'm not.
There's some of them I can't get with, but this one I just listen to over and over and over again.
Hey, speaking of audio, we have a audio podcast that we put all of our audio on. So if you're ever driving and want to hear some good stuff, from back in the day or present, it's on there on every audio podcast platform you can possibly think of. So there you go.
We love a shameless plug.
Sorry. Tiffany.
Sponsorship.
Yes. This episode has been brought to you by Lexapro and Audio.
When you're ready to disassociate,
Numbs you
Lexapro.
from the inside out.
Oh man, hey, listen, y'all. This has been great. I love you guys, man. Thank you guys so much for coming on here and fucks with me.
With you?
Hey, are we gonna plug our event real quick?
We're gonna plug 2 events actually. So if you guys
Uh-oh.
are in the Newport Richey area and want to have some fun and get connected and be intimate. I don't know if that word's good for that right now, but
I'm listening.
it's connection, people.
Connect with
Jesus.
your families.
Then we have the recovery walk going on September 20th. It's in downtown Newport Richey at Sims Park. There's going to be a ton of stuff going on. There's going to be recovery. There's going to be walking. There's going to be music. There's going to be vendors. There's going to be speakers. There's going to be all kinds of stuff. And you can hear, you can see us probably. Definitely.
Definitely.
And it's going to be a great time. This is the 5th annual. I think it's from, I don't know the times, but it's in the morning sometime. It's on, we'll have it on our page. I'll try to find it and post it. I'm going to post it on our page so that way everybody can see it. And then we have another event going on. This is going to be something fun for all the kids. So we're going to be doing a trunk or treat on October 11th at our center in the parking lot. We're going to have it's going to be a contest for best trunk or treat car decoration with giving out candy. Whoever has the best one is going to win some prizes, and it's going to be a good one. So if anybody wants to join in the trunk or treat, it's $25 registration fee to enter the contest. And then it's just decorate it and be a part. There's gonna be food truck. We're looking for vendors. We're looking for sponsors to put up tables, and we're gonna have food trucks and all kinds of stuff, man. It's gonna be a great time. Music, just having a great time, enjoying kids and family time, and yeah, it's gonna be a good time. So that's gonna be October 11th from 6 to 9 p.m. Be there, be square.
I put it in my calendar.
Yeah.
Can Josh shout out his event too that they're having?
Oh yeah.
I would
Definitely.
love that. So Steps to Recovery is putting on a Halloween event October 24th on Friday from 6 p.m. to midnight. It's going to be stars, stripes, and spooky nights. There's going to be a costume contest. Dinners included. Tickets are $25. We're trying to raise funds for our new facility that's supposed to open up in May. It's going to be at the Arapika Elks Lodge 2520 in Hudson. We've got flyers on our page and QR codes for the tickets and everything, and we would love everybody to come out and help support.
Nice.
All right. Well, do you send me that flyer and I'll post it on our page as well.
Copy that.
Nice.
Copy. Roger Dodger.
Roger Dodger. Ah.
All right, y'all, man. Well, thank you guys for being here. And thank you for listening. No more grapes, Christina. Geez, that's her safe word
Keep
now,
your
too.
grapes to yourself. Like,
Fucking
golly.
Lexapro, it makes her crave the grapes.
Lexapro.
We got like 3 packs in our fridge at Steps.
We got a whole box of them. I'm like, and they're just on the counter, just going through grapes. And I'm like,
Beck, what
okay.
house are you? Where are you at Women of the Well?
Oh no, I moved out of Women of the Well. I have my own house.
Oh, so you need some grapes, girl.
There you go.
Oh.
Christina, come by Steps. We got 11 houses. You can drop off grapes at every one of them.
Sounds good.
You need some grapes, girl.
I need some
Yeah, I got grapes for you.
She got a great plug.
I got grapes and Lexapro.
She's grateful. She's grateful.
Grateful. Oh,
Grateful.
I'm gonna decorate my trunk for the event. It's gonna be the California raisins.
All right, y'all, man.
Great. All right, I love you guys. Have a great
Love
night.
you guys. We'll see you next Wednesday, 8 p.m. right here on the Hope Shot. Peace.
Bye.